Welcome back to Technique Tuesday. This is Ballroom Feed, and we're gonna talk about the difference between a swivel turn and a pivot turn today. This is a small but really interesting distinction between the two different turn types. If you're able to start to separate what you call different kinds of turns, you can get better a lot quicker, you can learn advanced patterns a lot quicker, you can kind of coach yourself better. If every time you turn, you just call it the same thing, it's just not the case because we have different techniques and different setups for different turn types, all right? The words we use is not the Bible of turn types. Not everybody calls it a swivel or pivot. We're just gonna make a distinction so we can have this language that we can use to teach and learn different techniques, right? So, we've done videos on swivels and pivots in separate entities, but this video, just putting these two next to each other, will make it a little bit clearer. So, when we set up these two turn types, they're set up the same. We walk forward, and we walk forward in our normal two tracks where the balls of my feet have their own floorboards. So they're like this parallel, I just have some turnout, right? So either turn, I walk forward the same way. The difference between these two turns is we will, in a swivel, change directions. So if I walk forward to my left foot, I'm going to turn to my left. This is the same in both turns. I'm turning to the same side of the foot I'm standing on in a pivot or in a swivel. When I do a swivel, however, I'm going to rotate and then change directions and walk in the opposite direction that I started in, right? So if I'm moving towards you on my left foot, if I swivel, it means I'm now going to walk in the opposite direction away from you. If I want to do a pivot, I would walk forward on my left foot, I would still turn to my left, but the end goal would actually be to walk and take a step towards you instead of take a step away from you. Swivels change directions when I do them each time. If I keep alternating between swivels, I would change directions. If I kept doing pivots, I would keep traveling in one direction instead of changing back and forth. Swivels are a stationary turn, pivots are a traveling turn, okay? So when I go forward on my left foot again here, let's say I want to do a swivel, I keep both legs straight through this rotation, my back foot lags behind me and I pull it underneath to then go walk in my new direction. When I set up a pivot, I take this step. As I rotate, the feeling is the same, but what happens with my back leg, my free leg, is I keep it glued together, my thighs. I don't let my knee go past the other foot. I'll do it from this side. I keep my right leg behind me, and now my foot is already in the spot it should go in as I take my next step, all right? A crossbody lead in Cha-Cha Rumba is an excellent example of this pivot. We're gonna do the pivot. Let's say I'm a follower doing a crossbody lead in Rumba, and I go back, side together, forward, forward, forward. I do a pivot here, then walk backwards and go into the box again, right? If I did the same pattern but chose to do a swivel instead of a pivot, I would take these three walks, turn and then change direction and walk in the other place, which I can't do in that pattern, right? So this is one example of how these two turn types are different. We'll have a pro video on each of these turn types individually, how to align the feet, how to create elasticity for the body, how to find speed, how to find balance, and then different patterns that they get worked into. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please like the video so more people can see it, and comment other questions you'd like us to answer, turn types or anything else in different ballroom and Latin dances. So we'd love your support. Check out ballroomfeed.com. We have a pro section with much more detailed videos, and we'll see you in the next one.